All right, perfect. Well, like I said, welcome to the Stars and Strikes halftime show. The U.S. men's national team lead Northern Ireland 1-0 after a little bit of a deflected, lucky goal to say the least from Gio Reyna, but that could be huge for the 18-year-old's confidence. Ryan, what were your thoughts on the second half of
Yeah,
this
he
new
needed
formation?
it. He needed it. That's especially the main thing I want to talk about getting into halftime is this new shape that we're looking at. Because there's definitely some positives, but there's also definitely some negatives when it comes to maybe that's just with personnel or the actual shape itself. But I think the biggest concern right now is just the playing through the central area of the park, and I don't know if that's up to Kel Acosta or just the support he has around him, but Kel Acosta is having a brutal game in midfield, just kind of handling all that pressure alone. So we definitely got to try and support him, whether it's with Dest on that side or with Robinson. Robinson's been doing great, getting high up the field, which is great to see with this formation. But really, that middle of the park needs some help because it's kind of getting shredded apart. There was a couple of opportunities that they really could have capitalized on, especially going one-on-one with Miazga through on Stefan, which was definitely dangerous. We definitely got bailed out a couple of times, but other than that, the shape is definitely helping us get. The shape allows us to get wide. We tend to be playing more central through Pulisic, who's getting sucked in, but we definitely could work with this shape with all the personnel we have.
You mentioned Kel Acosta. He's one of the central midfielders. The other central midfielder, Yunus Musa, I think is absolutely bossing it. You see him charging forward with the ball. He's so confident, even more so than the last game. It seems like every time he puts on a U.S. shirt, he just gets better and better, and that's huge to see from a young player. Another guy I want to mention, you said his name, Christian Pulisic. I thought he started extremely lively. He was dangerous the entire match. He was cutting inside. I think this formation allowed him to play a little bit more freely, and that's one of the benefits of it. I think maybe a better formation to have him free up would be a 4-2-3-1, but at the moment we just really don't have the personnel to do that. Some of the issues I've seen with this new formation is that when those two wingbacks, Robinson and Dest, get sucked in high up the field and we lose possession like Kel Acosta has a couple of times, the three center backs are spread apart, and it opens up the channels for Northern Ireland to play those long over-the-top through balls and try and hit us on the counterattack, which they did a couple times and forced a good save out of Zach Steffen. But overall, we didn't give up a goal, a clean sheet in the first half. Gio Reyna, like you said, great for his confidence. He'd been struggling recently for Dortmund, hasn't had a goal or an assist in 13 games for the black and yellow. So this could be big for him to kind of kickstart the second half of the season for him. Jordan Sivacu making his first start for the U.S. men's national team. I thought he was pretty good in hold up. A couple of the layoffs after he brought the ball down, maybe from a cross or a booted ball up the field, I thought were a little bit maybe behind the player, just weren't exactly where you'd want them to be. But other than that, I thought he was fine, showing just another guy to add to the options that we have up top.
Yeah, and Jordan Sivacu looks hungry too, which is good to see. Obviously, he's in a good spread of form right now, and this is the perfect time to be playing him. So I think just that hunger that he's got, just being in good form, will be good to see because if he does continue playing in the second half, he's gonna want something. Obviously, that he had that opportunity deflected by the Northern Ireland center back off of the Gio Reyna control, which that would have been a beauty goal if that found the net. But it's good to see he's getting into. He plays that he plays a really central position, not really getting out anywhere other than that. Like you might see Josh Sargent do. But honestly, not a bad first half, obviously. So obviously we got to see more of him, but not bad. I can get behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're playing a formation with a lot of wing backs darting up the field, I think maybe that central striker is something you need. However, I do think that maybe running the channels a little bit might open up some more space for Reyna and Pulisic when they cut inside off those wings. One last thing I want to get to real quick was Anthony Robinson. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal in this first half. Darting down the left wing, I thought he put a couple really nice balls into the box. One in particular went right across the 6-yard box, and Sivacu just wasn't turned on to that quick enough. But I think he's definitely showing that he can nail down that left back spot, and hopefully he does because he's a very talented kid. He's playing pretty well for Fulham over in the Premier League, plays at a high level, and having him on one flank and Serginho Dest on the other flank, I think is really cool and could be
Yeah.
huge going forward for us.
And it's tough to say because obviously last game we had Serginho Dest put out such a great performance on the left-hand side, but today is a masterclass from Robinson on the left-hand side. Robinson's definitely been one of the best players on the pitch, just always getting that high up the field and looking to get the ball centrally into the park, whether to Stevichu, to Reyna or whoever. So he's looking really sharp. I'd love to see him get on the score sheet with an assist or something, because that's also going to be huge on his confidence, as well as he's been working on that attack-minded play, and seeing him in all these positions. He's working on that, and he's just looking for that that output now.
And something to go off of the strong left back performances back to back. I think part of that has to be the fact that Christian Pulisic is there. Christian Pulisic is always causing headaches for the defenders, for those wing backs, those full backs, because of how quickly he can get the ball and turn on a defense and make something happen like that. He's always causing issues, and you always have to have in the back of your head, where's Pulisic? Where's Pulisic? And you also have to worry about Dest or Robinson darting down that wing, and Pulisic cuts inside. That opens up the space for the left back. If Pulisic runs the channel, that opens up the cutback for the left back. So a lot of different options that we have. Hopefully we get a little bit more comfortable in this position playing out from the back. A couple of giveaways that could have caused some issues for us, didn't really amount to anything. But yeah, and then defending the break is something we also need to improve on. Ryan, what is one thing or one player that you want to see do something in the second half?
Definitely, like we were already talking about, Jordan Stevichu. I think his positioning is all right. He's looking hungry, but like you mentioned, running the channels more, getting more involved, and looking like more of a threat. I want to see him, compete with the likes of Soto, Giochini, who have been getting on the score sheet every chance they get, and making their names known. I think now is the time for Stevichu. This is his first opportunity, second opportunity, but it's his time to say, I've arrived to this striker, mashup here.
Absolutely. And the guy I want to see is the birthday boy, Brian Reynolds, new right back for AS Roma, made his debut recently. So hopefully he gets on the field, give him a little birthday present. Thank you guys all for joining us. Stars and Strikes halftime show. We'll be back with the post-game show at full time. The U.S. lead 1-0. We'll see you soon.